I guess I had fun the first time. I definitely need this though. Okay, welcome back to the channel if you saw the last video, which was the first video, so probs not. But welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chi Perry and I'm just doing a little series, just having a little talk. Okay, look, I thought I'd just come in here and chat to you, my friend, about MAFS. I wanted to do a little MAFS, not maths, MAFS, Married at First Sight Australia 2024 recaps, and we're gonna start going through the wedding. Here we go. Let's chew on some vows.
You bitches will never understand how good it is to be Australian.
Let's chew on some vows about maths. Here we go.
I'm having a meal. I'm eating.
All of these weddings seem to have the same format, so we'll run with the format. There's a little bit of getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Then we move on to the trauma. We have to hear about the trauma. And then we move on to the weddings, the gaudy weddings. There's a little bit of drama sometimes at the weddings. We love the drama. No kumbaya, my lord. So we have to have the wedding and then the photos and then it's the reception. And then we will also have a morning after the wedding shot. We'll see how they felt after the wedding. Then for some of them, we have just a tiny little bit of the first day of their honeymoon. So again, I am reading some notes off my computer that I wrote when I was drunk, watching maths, drinking wine. I mean, how else do we do it? No other way. And we're just going to go through these notes and see if we can make any sense out of it. Yes, sense, not sense. I say things funny. Pick on me in the comment section if you like. Any engagement is good engagement. When I get my first hate comments, I feel like I'm going to be famous. So go right ahead. Do it. Do it. You can't hurt me. Well, you probably can. I came from Penrith though, so if you know, you know. And you should also like and subscribe. So I've taken quite a lot of notes and I regret that. I feel like I should just like snap through these as fast as I possibly can. I'm trying to remember whose wedding was first. That's right. Sara and Tim. Obviously both wanting to be wellness influencers. Sara is a nutritionist and she doesn't like to pay for dates. She also works out and she looks good. Like Sara looks good. She will make you feel ashamed if you make her pay, and she probably should. The Alpha Male podcast, don't they say if you want a high quality woman? I mean, it costs money to be a high quality woman. So if you want a high quality woman, you want her to turn up on that date looking high quality. It's probably cost her thousands. So the least thing you could do is pay for dinner, you bloody bum. Anyways, there is Tim. Tim comes out of the ocean, of course. It's toilet teeth Tim. They all have toilet teeth. I'm sorry, Tim. It rolls off the tongue so well. Sorry. Anyway, Tim is a well-traveled man. How lucky, because Sara loves a well-traveled man. Ooh, it's a match. Also, Tim has lived in Colombia. He loves the food. He loves speaking Spanish. And then he goes and spoils it all by saying something stupid like, the Colombian culture is on point. Yeah, did you have a way with words? So he loves Colombia. Guess what? She's Colombian. Whoa, it's a match. Okay, and then we're going to speed through the trauma because we know we have to have some trauma. We know that this is the best psychological thriller on TV. So we need to know about her trauma so we can traumatize her later. Woohoo, maths. And guess what? She's been cheated on. And guess what his trauma is? He's been cheated on. It's a match. So far... matching on. They both want to be wellness influencers, stuff about Colombia and speaking Spanish, being well-traveled, and cheating. Awesome. Let's get to this wedding. Oh, yeah. So before the wedding, I'm getting ahead of myself. The best man, Tim the Toilet Teeth's best man, we shall deem him Mullet Boy, definitely wants to be a comedic influencer. He thinks he's got all the jokes, all the funnies. So we're at the wedding. We're back at the wedding now, okay? We're back at the wedding now. We're looking at the gaudy, stupid wedding on a boat where everyone's hair's flying around everywhere. Everyone is sitting there waiting for the groom to come, and who comes? Mullet Boy. And I've got to agree with the bridesmaids. If I saw that guy, if I saw Mullet Boy, I would be like, oh no, this is a setup. I didn't know this. I have learnt something new and I appreciate the information. I shall tell my friends about it. I've had a partner for 12 years. I've never done Tinder, so I don't know about these boys. But apparently if they have a mullet, it equals a boy, so noted. Okay, so they have a lovely little wedding and he speaks Spanish to her and she's like, oh, I'm Colombian and blah, 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 blah. And it's actually quite nice. And they have the photos and it looks like they're getting along and like it looks like all that editing. They're really setting us up thinking like, oh my gosh, first wedding off the bat. They're so happy. The experts got it so right. But then we get to the reception. Everything's going fine. Still they're flirting, they're kissing, they're smiling at each other. And then he goes and spoils it all by saying something stupid like, I broke up with my girlfriend 6 months ago. Yeah, I was going to propose to her this year. And then her face, the horror. The horror. The producers are all like probably convinced her to talk about being afraid that he's not over his ex. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Okay, there's an elephant, a whole ass elephant in this room. 6 months ago. Let's look at the timeline. Okay, so when an old series of Married at First Sight is ending, they are already looking for their new participants, which means that if Tim had broken up with his girlfriend who cheated on him 6 months ago, how is he on the show? How does that work out? Huh? Should he not have been still going through the process of applying for the show 6 months ago? Is there anybody that knows that this is a fact? Like, how long is the process to get on the show? I know from when I was in a reality, let's not talk too much about it, but when I was in a reality TV, blah, blah, it took a long time. It took like 6 months for me to actually get to the filming. It takes time. So her face is saying, hang on a minute, that timeline doesn't work out. All right. So the other elephant in the room is this guy, this bloody mullet boy who thinks he's so funny. Now, if you ask me, after what Tim said, I think that Tim and Mullet Boy set this up. I'm pretty sure it was a bet with their mates that Mullet Boy was going to come and he was going to do the most raucous best man speech and go viral, and then them and their mates were gonna laugh and laugh and laugh about it because this is just too much. It's just too much, and Tim doesn't really say anything about it. So if you haven't heard the speech, I'm sorry that I'm gonna have to tell you a couple of the things from the speech. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. So the best man gets up and he decides to give a speech about how Tim is in the experiment. And if you don't know, Married at First Sight likes to call themselves a social experiment. Okay, so he's talking about how Tim has done some other experiments. In fact, Tim's a bit of a scientist. One of the experiments, experiment 551, was something about a speeding car, a girl, and I don't want to say it. Like, you know, yeah. So apparently that didn't work out because experiment 552 was to see if in the hospital later, if they could give it another go. Yeah, he said these things in front of her friends and his family and everyone's family and the whole wedding on a microphone. Proud as punch. Yeah, viral moment. And then he finishes his speech with a lovely little story about how they went to a 4-day festival and Tim decided to pack a lunch. Then on the 4th day of the festival, Tim decided to eat the lunch. Apparently the lunch included some rancid chicken, which Tim gladly ate. So the last little punchline, the last little ounce, the last little ounce for Mullet Boy's viral moment. If you're rancid, he'll still eat you anyways. Can I hear a round of applause for Mullet Boy? I'm sure he will be a great comedian one day. Okay, so I couldn't think of anything worse but having to be stuck on a boat with this guy, and guess what? They all were. Okay, so they wake up the next morning and she's still crapping on about how I don't know if he's over his ex, but it's okay because they're going to Fiji now for their honeymoon. So the honeymoon is going to bring the action, and we're in Fiji, and Tim, the toilet teeth, has planned a dinner. Tim, the toilet teeth, was told by the producers that you have planned a dinner. Allegedly. So we find ourselves now at the dinner that Tim planned, and they're having a shot of tequila, having a good time. But no.
I thought that was a lemon drop. I didn't think it was tequila.
Sara doesn't like the tequila. It's not very good tequila. I don't know. She's actually Colombian, so I would believe her. But Tim says no, it's some brand of tequila that's apparently good. And then he goes to say something, but he doesn't say it. And I can understand Sara's frustration. I can get it. I understand that is so annoying. So she presses him, she pushes him. She's like, okay, look, you need to say what you were going to say. And do you think that maybe Tim could have thought of something else? He could have lied, a small white lie to keep the peace. No, Tim tells her exactly what was on his mind. And he says those magic words. You need to calm down. Why did you say that, Tim? You shouldn't have said it, mate. You just should have just stuck to your guns of not saying it, darling. You need to calm down. You're not enjoying anything. Well, you know what? I guess that would be annoying. I have to admit, Tim, I'd be annoyed by that too. But you probably could have thought of a better way to address that if you wanted to stay friends. And now we leave the happy couple and they have separated. They can't be around each other. There's a producer trying to console Sara to keep her on the show. There's Tim, I don't know, back in the ocean. They're not talking. And this is how we leave Sara and Tim until the next episode. Okay, so like I said, these are going to be super, super quick. And we need to get to the dinner party. We need to get to some mukbang and MAFS. I need to buy myself a whole bucket of chicken and really watch the drama unfold. So sorry that Zena wasn't here today, but thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. My name is Chi Chi. Bye. Oh, check out my earrings. Oh my goodness. Babes, babe. Look, I'll take it out and I'll show you. One says, yeah, nah. Didn't even try that hard for that. That's the voice I hide. If you saw me after I've had a couple of wines, I'm pretty sure that's how I sound naturally. And this one says, oh, I said it the wrong way. That one says, nah, yeah. And this one says, yeah, nah. It's probably because I read it backwards in the screen. Yeah. I also have some that say hurus. So if you know where that comes from, leave it in the comments because you are a legend and we should be friends, and you should also subscribe to me. That deserves a freaking like and subscribe if I've ever heard one.